trading at a few $100s a piece. It was relatively easy to brush off Bitcoin a few years ago, but try to ignore this. 19,300 US dollars. At one point today, that was the going rate for a single Bitcoin. You've probably heard it described as a revolutionary cryptocurrency, but at its core, it's about trust. So, why do people have so much trust in it? Well, from start to finish, everything's out in the open. Every transaction is public information. Bitcoins are also rare. There's a strict system in place limiting how they're created, and there can only ever be 21 million of them. So, think diamonds. A new Bitcoin is like a buried diamond, with miners all going after the same one. But it takes a whole lot of digging to get there, and if you get there first, you have to prove you did the digging. Other miners spend their time verifying what you did, and if everything checks out, you earn some coin. But there's another twist. Every diamond, or Bitcoin, is harder and harder to find, buried deeper and deeper. So, tracking every transaction and unearthing new Bitcoins becomes more and more difficult. Now, to be totally fair, the mining analogy is an oversimplification. At its core, Bitcoin mining is essentially doing complicated math to keep this increasingly complicated currency system running and then being paid for it. And as Jacqueline Hansen found, there are some Canadians hoping to get in on a gold rush.
Tucked away, a homegrown Bitcoin operation.
So this is what we have temporarily set up.
Rather than buy the cryptocurrency, Dan Ingram is mining it and others using these machines and a lot of electricity.
So I've pretty much maxed out the power that I have available here at the house.
And maxed out his savings. Each unit costs about $2,000.
How much money is this making you?
Right now I go with an average, roughly about $10 a day is what it brings in. And here's one of the newly arrived D3 miners.
In just a few months, he's invested more than $100,000.
Good luck trying to talk your wife into letting you spend 100 grand. I've got a great wife.
Thank you.
Entrepreneurs at heart, he and his wife Amanda Ryland see real potential in the somewhat complicated world of cryptocurrencies.
If we tell them that we're mining, they think we're with a light on and we got a pickaxe and where's your stake, where's your claim.
Bitcoin mining is digital. The machines use high-level computing power to try to solve complex equations. The reward is Bitcoin. There are massive mining operations elsewhere in the world that Ingram and Ryland couldn't compete with on their own. So they team up with other miners in an online pool and get a small slice of what's earned every day.
If I was looking for a get-rich-quick, I would have just bought Bitcoin and just sat there and crossed my fingers. And that would be a really taking a chance. I was looking for something that was a little bit more stable.
Bitcoin itself has been anything but stable. Over the past year, it has surged more than 1,600%, with sudden extreme drops along the way. It's attracted believers and skeptics on Wall Street.
Bitcoin is a bubble.
Bitcoin could be at 40,000 at the end of 2018.
If you're stupid enough to buy it, you'll pay the price for it one day.
You know, this is the mania of our time. When you look at the chart, it dwarfs anything before, even the dot-com bubble.
Analysts that usually cover the Canadian or US dollar are now watching these cryptocurrencies, even though they're more like a commodity than cash.
It's failed as a currency. The transaction costs are too high. It's too slow.
This is a historic moment. We actually got the first miners in the building.
Ingram says mining is a calculated risk. He's expanding to a warehouse where he has access to more and cheaper power. He'll soon have 70 machines up and running here.
Who knows where it'll take us?
A hobby, a retirement fund, or maybe just a gamble.
kVA transformer. It's going to go down as probably the riskiest gamble I've taken in my life. But I'm okay with that. If it works out, it's going to work out great. If not, just 100 grand.
The cost of chasing a digital gold rush that may or may not pan out.
And you need to play the numbers game. You're not
Jacqueline Hansen, CBC News, Langley, BC.
It's just 100 grand. You heard Jacqueline mention a few times how much electricity Bitcoin miners are using. Well, the numbers are pretty staggering. According to a website that tracks cryptocurrencies, processing each Bitcoin transaction uses enough electricity to power the average Canadian home for about 8 days. And there are a lot of transactions happening, more than 400,000 of them per day. You could power more than 3 million homes with that kind of energy.